move to the installation environment, and this is very important for us to be cautious and aware what are the precautions that we need to take note. So first one is about the equipment room. So the installation environment plays a very crucial role in the normal use of the equipment. So any other communication devices needs to have a clean space and a dedicated room for that one. So the first precautions that we strongly suggest is that you need to have the room with adequate ventilation. This place should not be exposed to direct sunlight, nor extreme hot or extreme cold. And the operating temperature should be between 0 to 40 degrees Celsius, and with the humidity of 0 to 90%. So the next one is you need to maintain the cleanliness of the room and minimize potential sources of interference. All types of sundries are not allowed to place within. So sundries, maybe the collection of small items such as the batteries, screws, or any small items in the table. So we need to refrain from putting that next to our equipment. Then we need to avoid installing in areas with a lot of vibration, dust, or water or oil contact. Then we need to stay away from radio or cell phone antennas. So those are that create interference with any high frequency machine, so it should be avoided as much as possible. Then we need to provide a reliable ground wire system. The impedance of the ground must be or equal to less than or equal to 3 ohms. The equipment grounding should comply with the grounding standards. So we have the grounding rules later on, and it should be grounded separately and thoroughly. So here, and last but not the least, we need to check whether the power supply is within the range. So as you know, the devices we have should be in between of 100 to 250 volts. So this is to prevent abnormal operation. So we have encountered that in some other installations, and the number one cause for that is the power supply. Okay, so power supply is really very important. So we need to have a reliable power source. So the equipment operates at an AC voltage of 100 to 240 volts, that is 50 to 60 hertz. Power supply, the equipment should be installed independently. So it means that there should be no other equipment being installed also to maintain the stability of the communication. So the user must install a UPS AC stabilized power supply if the local power grid's voltage is not stable. So we need to have a UPS stabilized power. So by the way, when you use a UPS AC stabilized, so you need to avoid those power off switching, no, the AC stabilized the UPS. So this will cause abnormal operation. So it needs to have an online UPS to ensure that the equipment continues to function properly. Okay, the next one is about wiring. This is very important also because the call quality is very dependent. No, it's related. It has an impact with regards to the cabling system. So it's very, very highly significant. So before wiring, make sure that the standard cabinet with a minimum installation of 1 unit from other equipment. This will allow for heat dissipation. And of course, there's no equipment being stuck on top of the switch. So make sure that the wiring, when you are wiring, make sure that you turn off the system. Then after that, you need to turn it back on because this will cause the system to malfunction if you just directly connect the wiring, even if the device is turned on. To avoid AC noise interference, do not connect the telephone line, from the FXS port with in parallel with the AC power supply or to any supply to your computer or that shares a same power socket. So as much as possible, it must be insulated. So generally, we are using the STP, the shielded twisted pair, or you can use a conductive adhesive tape to do that. So when performing a high voltage protection, so it is very necessary to install a lighting protection distribution frame. So new rack, we have that, our PT2400 or the patch panel for 800 for the 48 ports. So slightly you need to put the wire, connect the wire from device to the patch panel. That is about 20 cm long. Okay, so more on the wiring part is that we need to check all the lines. So which lines is that? Is regards to external and the extension lines. So basically in troubleshooting, we need to make sure that lines doesn't affect the call quality. So we need to make sure the line conditions before making any adjustment. First is the analog external lines. So you need to do that, check the PST and direct line. So if it has through the other terminals, or it is connected with the dialer. So as much as possible, we need to refrain from using any external devices. No? So because generally it will affect the customer experience, and we have a known issues that causing some external lines that has this effect on the system. So in general, we recommended not to use unnecessary external devices. Next is the extension lines, our analog lines. So you need to make sure if it has gone through a patch panels, right? So if customers doesn't want to use the patch panels for new rack, they can develop by their own. Well, that's okay as long as we need to make sure that it is properly or standardly wired, no? So we need to make sure that it's properly before you make an adjustment. Then the line connections, we need to make sure line connection is doesn't have, or they don't use a reconnected junction box in the middle of the line. So basically, if there are some junction box, you need to refrain as much as not doing, putting that. If it doesn't require, so try not to use it. Okay, the next part is how to install the patch panel. So basically, you have to connect. This is the patch panel at the top. You have the RG45 from the OM. So connect that with the at least 20 cm cable. So after this, I will show you the connection, how it is done for the cabling part. But generally, so we have to connect in this part here the RG45 connected to the patch panel, and the right part is to the extensions or to the ports, FXO ports. Okay, so here is the grounding part. So it is very necessary that the telephone exchange must be consistently grounded. Why? Because the call quality really is impacted with the proper grounding. So especially for the FXO ports, it will cause of some noises. So proper grounding is really necessary and very helpful for that. And aside from that, it will give you protection from or safety to the staff or to the technical guys. It's very helpful for the proper grounding. So the grounding rules is that generally the same for all communication equipment. The ground resistance must not be greater than 3 ohms. And if the installation environment do not have grounding conditions, so you can consider choosing a suitable locations in the room. So you can do a steel nails, then drive that in the solid wall as temporary grounding source. So as you can see here, drive that to the grounding system. So this is the pin specs for OM80E and OM200G RG45 socket. So we have the first pair for 1 and 2, second pair for 3 and 6, and the third pair for 4 and 5, and 7 and 8 for the fourth pair. So as you can see here, we have the guide. So you can do some connections. So some guys, they want to make their own wiring. Yeah, well, they can do like this also. So let's go proceed with the installation. As mentioned before, FXO connected to PSTN line, then FXS analog phone, then one connect to the switch, then use the power adapter that we supplied and connect this to the grounding terminals. Then after that, after you turn on, you need to make sure that the power and STU is steady green. So it indicates that they're running normally and they are obtaining an IP address. If it's steady green for one, it means the link is up. And of course, the indicators for analog trunk, if it's in use, it's steady yellow. And for analog extension, it's steady green. So after that, you need to connect to the administrator computer. So make sure that you connect to the same network segment. Now, so if you want to use connect your computer, say for example, the default IP for OM 20G or 50G is 192.168.2.218. So you need to do example for 192.168.2.219 for your personal computer. So yeah, once you connect the analog extensions, you can directly play already. Press 00 as hash 00 to listen the extension number. And you want to do an intercom, just directly dial the extension number. And yeah, there are a lot of short feature codes that you can use in our OM. So say for example, if you want to find the IP address of the OM IPPBX, you can use hash to obtain the device IP address. Then you can listen the IP address of your device. Then of course, method 2, you can use our Finder software. So just simply run that. You can download, it's free. You can download that to your PC. And after you refresh, you can see the MAC address and the IP address of your targeted model. So once you have the IP address, you can go to your web GUI, web browser. So log in that, and the default IP for 20G and 50G is 192.168.2.218. For OM80E and 120G is 192.168.2.240. And for OM1000 UC and to 8000 is 10.20.2.240. So web browser we support is Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, and Firefox. We have no problem about that. And now if you want to select as admin as a user, so you can do that. So basically we have two authority levels. One is admin, one is operator. Admin is that you can make changes to any configuration. Operator only selected, no? So just selected configurations you can do. And of course, you need to input the default password. So generally, we have a random password for 50G and OM50G. However, for the bigger devices, we already put that on your box as well. So here, you need to log in the CAPTCHA and of course, click to log in. After that, you're able to log into your device. So this is the web GUI overview. As you can see, there are three areas. The first one is, I think this is related to the system bottom area. So you have the product information, the info, you can reboot and log out. And of course, for the part 2 here is a menu bar. We have the main bar. And of course, we have the sub menu bar. So if you select basic, it will show here network, dining rule, attendant. So every menu bar, it will show a sub menu bar underneath. Then on the third part is the configuration area. So here, you can view, modify, or view the configuration. So upon logging in, you can also, we advise you to set a static IP. So you don't have to worry about the correct IP that you are using to access the device.